Hey everyone, today we're diving into something that's happening kind of behind the scenes, a quiet revolution that is set to completely change the money in your wallet and, yeah, even your bank account. It's called a central bank digital currency, or CBDC for short, and trust me, it could redefine finance as we know it.
Look, I know it's a bold statement, but the change we're talking about really boils down to this. Money is about to change forever, and the groundwork for this new financial era, it's being laid right now, as we speak. So what is really going on here? All right, to really get our heads around this whole thing, we've got to start with the basics. We need to define this new kind of money. We're going to cover what these central bank digital currencies, these CBDCs, actually are, why they're suddenly being created, how they might work, and the global race to see who can build them first.
So, first things first, what is a CBDC? Well, at its core, it's just a digital version of a country's official money. So think of a digital dollar or a digital euro. But here's the crucial difference. The money in your bank account right now is technically a liability of a commercial bank, right? A CBDC is a direct liability of the central bank itself, just like the physical cash in your wallet. It's a subtle but massive distinction.
So what really makes a CBDC so unique? Well, for starters, it's digital government money. This isn't a private asset like Bitcoin. It's a state-backed digital currency, which means it carries the full faith and credit of the government. And the people who support it, they see it as the foundation for the next generation of payment systems, ones that are designed to be way faster, cheaper, and more efficient than what we're all using today.
Okay, this all sounds pretty futuristic for sure, but it brings up a really big question. Why is all of this happening right now? What is this sudden global push for digital cash all about? A huge piece of the puzzle is that physical cash is, well, it's kind of fading away. In a lot of developed countries, cash is used in fewer than 1 out of every 5 payments. And at the same time, you've seen digital payments through private apps and cards just explode. Central banks are looking at this trend and basically realizing, hey, we need to offer a public, digital alternative if we want to stay at the center of the financial system. But it's not just about the decline of cash. The explosion of private cryptocurrencies, especially those corporate-backed stablecoins that are designed to act like traditional currency, really lit a fire under governments to get moving. There's also just a clear need to upgrade our financial plumbing for things like faster international payments, and there's a real desire to improve financial inclusion to give everyone access to the digital economy. So we're starting to get the why. Now let's pivot to the how. Let's try to visualize how this new financial network might actually work in practice. In most of the models being proposed, the flow is pretty logical. First, the central bank, like the Fed in the US, would create and issue the digital currency. Step 2, they'd most likely work with the commercial banks we already know to get the CBDCs out to the public, basically using the financial system we already have. And finally, you and I and all the businesses out there, we'd use digital wallets on our phones to hold and spend this money, allowing for instant, totally seamless transactions.
But let's be clear about something. This isn't just some sleepy technological upgrade happening in the background. No way. This is quickly turning into a brand new arena for global competition, and the geopolitical stakes are incredibly high.
You can see this global race playing out in real time. China is arguably way out in the lead. Their digital yuan is already in live pilot programs. Europe is deep in development on a digital euro. Meanwhile, the US is taking a much more cautious, research-heavy approach with things like Project Hamilton. The country that figures this out first and sets the standard for this new form of money, they could gain a massive economic advantage. But like with any revolution, this potential future isn't without some serious debate. So for this last part, we really have to look at this critical balancing act between pushing for innovation and being extremely cautious.
And the debate over CBDCs is intense. On one hand, the potential benefits are super compelling. You've got instant global payments, bringing the unbanked into the financial system, and more direct tools for central banks to manage the economy. But on the other hand, the risks are, well, they're profound. We're talking about major privacy concerns with money that's completely traceable, huge cybersecurity risks, and the potential for really unprecedented government control over our finances, which could shake up the entire banking system. So when you try to weigh all of that, the pros and the cons, you end up at a pretty powerful conclusion. We may very well be heading toward a future where government money is entirely digital, creating a new, deeply interconnected global financial system. So that leaves us with the big one, the crucial question we all have to think about. Is a digital-only currency, with all of its incredible promises and all of its serious dangers, actually our inevitable future? That's the multi-trillion-dollar question that governments, and frankly all of us, now have to answer.